Fire country, coming in hot. The night sky over Chezem Valley was painted orange and red, an inferno swallowing everything in its path. Flames crackled like a roaring beast while firefighters scrambled to contain the chaos. Bode tightened the straps of his oxygen mask, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of escape. Beside him, Audrey adjusted the radio on her vest, her voice steady despite the panic around them. "Dispatch, we're surrounded on 3 sides. We need a way out," she called, her words barely audible over the roar of the wildfire. "Hold your position," came the response. "Air support is 15 minutes out." 15 minutes? Bode muttered. "We don't have 15 minutes. The flames were closing in, cutting off their escape route. Their truck was stuck in a ravine, and the only way out was through a narrow ridge now engulfed in flames. "Bode, if we stay here, we're done," Audrey said, her voice firm. Bode nodded, grabbing a fire shelter from the truck. "We'll make it through, together." As they moved, the ground beneath them crumbled, sending sparks flying into the air. Each step was a gamble, but they pressed on, their training guiding their every move. Manny's desperate search. Meanwhile, in a small town near the valley, Manny paced the fire station, a map of evacuation zones spread out on the table. His daughter, Sophia, had gone missing hours earlier, and every second felt like a lifetime. "Captain, I need a crew to search the south quadrant," Manny demanded, pointing to a section near the edge of the blaze. "Manny, it's too dangerous. That area's a no-go zone," the captain replied. "I don't care," Manny snapped. "She's out there. I know it." Ignoring protocol, Manny grabbed his gear and headed for his truck. As he drove into the fire's path, memories of Sophia's laughter filled his mind. He couldn't lose her, not like this. The smoke thickened as Manny neared the area. Suddenly, a faint cry pierced the air. Stopping his truck, he jumped out, scanning the area with his flashlight. "Sophia!" he yelled. "Dad!" came the faint reply. There she was, huddled beneath a tree, her face streaked with soot. Relief washed over Manny as he ran to her, wrapping her in his arms. "I've got you, Misha," he whispered. Eve's fight for her family ranch. Back at the Dawson Ranch, Eve stood with her father, watching the fire creep closer. The old barn, a family heirloom, was just yards from the advancing flames. "We need to evacuate," Eve urged, but her father shook his head. "This ranch is everything we have," he said. "I'm not leaving." Eve clenched her fists, her mind racing. She couldn't let her father stay, but she also couldn't abandon him. Grabbing a hose, she began dousing the area around the barn, determined to buy them more time. As the fire drew nearer, Eve's instincts kicked in. She grabbed a tarp and soaked it in water, throwing it over the barn's roof. "Dad, help me reinforce the line," she shouted. Together they worked tirelessly, fighting back the flames inch by inch. Finally, the wind shifted, and the fire's path veered away from the ranch. Exhausted but triumphant, Eve collapsed to the ground, her father at her side. "You saved it," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "We saved it," Eve replied, a small smile breaking through her exhaustion. Bode and Audrey's final push back in the valley. Bode and Audrey reached the ridge, their faces streaked with sweat and soot. The fire raged around them, but they pressed on, refusing to give up. "Almost there," Bode yelled, grabbing Audrey's hand as they leaped over a smoldering log. Suddenly, a tree collapsed behind them, blocking their path. Trapped, they deployed their fire shelters, crouching low as the flames roared overhead. "Hold on," Bode shouted, his voice muffled by the shelter. Minutes felt like hours until, finally, the sound of helicopter blades cut through the chaos. Air support arrived, dropping water over their position. The flames subsided, and a rescue crew pulled Bode and Audrey to safety. Breathing heavily, Bode looked at Audrey and grinned. "Told you we'd make it." Audrey laughed, relief flooding her face. "You're insane, but I'll take it." Why you can't miss this episode. As the sun rose over Chezem Valley, the firefighters regrouped, battered but victorious. The episode ends with Manny reuniting with his daughter, Eve protecting her family's legacy, and Bode and Audrey proving once again why they're the heart of the team. Coming in hot is a powerful reminder of the courage, resilience, and humanity of those who face the fire head-on, both literal and metaphorical.